I appreciate you waking up early with us. I'm Kelsey Marrier with meteorologist Ted Schmidt, coming to you live from our digital news desk. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you being here, and you may be wondering why we're kind of doing things in a different way. Well, there were some technical issues that just kind of put a little bit of a hindrance in how we can do our newscast. So
Right.
we're ditching the KTTC studio and coming to you live here. So we are happy to have you here, and we're still going to bring you all the weather and news that you need to get your day going, and that includes our first alert day. It is going to be a first alert day today because of some potential severe weather that we're going to be seeing a little bit later. So Ted, why don't you elaborate?
Right now, yeah, a very quiet, peaceful morning, but it really does feel like summer out there. I mean, temperatures this morning just shy of 70. You get the feeling there's that warmth, the humidity. These elements will come together later on to maybe set the stage for some thunderstorms in the late afternoon. And severe weather concern really starting after 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're talking during the evening commute and even really beyond the evening commute with the strongest activity that will come in from the west. All of this with an approaching cold front that's going to dive into this warm and kind of humid situation. And it happens a lot of times in the summer, and certainly this is a very typical summer setup for us. Here's the current view as we look outside to the southwest. Here's our Lewiston auto camera. Good to see the sunshine outside. A very mild morning though. Temperatures just shy of 70 here at the studio. It's the first alert day. What we're tracking right now is strong to severe thunderstorms this evening. After 4 o'clock, really even beyond that. Here in Rochester, it may be closer to 7 o'clock before those storms arrive. But right now, large hail and damaging winds, the primary threats in those storms, as well as maybe some locally heavy rainfall, as much as an inch of rain in some of those storms. The good news is, as they move along fairly quickly today, we won't likely see as much of those 3 or 4 inch rain totals as we had on Sunday. We do not want those again, because some of the areas are still trying to recover from some of the flooding we experienced a couple of days ago. But right now we have some sunshine in the area, just a thin veil of clouds overhead, and satellite radar here at the studio at 67 degrees, just a hint of a south breeze. Those south winds will pick up and reach 25 miles per hour times this afternoon. So it'll be a breezy and warm day. Nice little breeze to stir the humidity though in the air. It's 65 right now in Rochester at the airport officially. La Crosse 67, Mason City 65, and Charles City 66 as we look at first alert day. Timing of those strong storms 4 to 10 o'clock this evening. Area wide again, activity will fire up to the west, move in, and Rochester primarily around 7 o'clock, but close to Interstate 35, anywhere from 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. And if you're heading out to the polls, it is a primary election day in North Iowa. Forest City, for instance, we start the day in the 60s, reaching 84 later today. A stray shower or thunderstorm as early as maybe 3 o'clock, but the severe weather risk a little beyond that, and the most widespread storm activity cools the air from the 80s to the 70s by 7 o'clock, but those rain chances go on until just before midnight tonight. And here, look for a high of 83 degrees, some sunshine, a little bit of a breeze, and yeah, look for some of those late afternoon thunderstorms with hail and damaging wind gusts. Again, the main overall concerns in some of those storms. Thus, it is the first alert day. And so, and we want to remind you to download the KTTC weather app. Very helpful thing to have. I love it because it tells you not only when there's severe, but it also tells you when there's lightning in your area. If you're out walking the dog and you know there's lightning a couple miles away, it's when you want to seek shelter, because when the thunder roars, you go indoors because lightning is dangerous. And
I love that.
Severe weather altogether, all dangerous elements, and good to have a tool on your hand.
Definitely, and of course you can always stay with KTTC throughout the day. Our weather team is going to be working hard all day long for this first alert day to make sure that you are safe and know what's coming your way for this first alert day and this Tuesday. Ted, as you mentioned, it is also a big day in Iowa. Voters are going to be heading to the polls for primary election day. Those polls are going to be opening in just a little less than a half an hour at 7 o'clock. It is a closed election. It's going to determine who will be moving on in the November 5th general election, and our Eric Min is sharing what voters in the Hawkeye State need when heading to those polls and how many Iowans we can expect at the ballot boxes.
So far, we're monitoring things, and things to be, looks like tomorrow should be a very successful day.
According to Sarah Gorder County Auditor Adam Wetmore, the first thing Iowans need to know is they need to declare their party affiliation and choose that appropriate ballot. He says this is unique to primaries.
So even if a voter is not registered with a party, or maybe wants to register with a different party, they can do that right at election day at the polls simply by selecting which party they want to be a member of.
Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate says everyone should research their candidates ahead of the election. He also recommends checking if your voter registration is current. Pate shares he feels polling places will be ready for a busy day.
Our county auditors have been preparing for this for some time. We've got our poll workers all identified, recruited, trained, preparing for it. Ballots are printed. We've done the pre-testing of the tabulators, the public testing where public could watch the process.
Both Pate and Wedmore hope turnout will be good, though historically far fewer people have casted ballots in June when compared to November.
For several reasons, one of those being that voters are not just necessarily choosing a candidate to serve in a position, but they're choosing a candidate to move on to the next general election ballot. So we hope turnout will be good. It's really difficult to tell.
Wedmore explains Iowa voters need to go to specific polling sites with respect to their address and precinct.
And of course, continuing our Iowa election coverage is Charles Kelly, who's joining us now to kind of break things down. There's kind of a lot to know and a lot to see when you're heading to the polls. So we're going to fill you in on just some of the things we can expect. What do you got, Charles?
Yeah, Kelsey, this morning we're taking a look at Iowa's 2nd congressional district in Northeast Iowa, starting with what Republican voters can expect on their ballot looking to Cerro Gordo County, specifically Mason City Ward 1, Precinct 1. So the Republican candidate to represent Iowa's 2nd congressional district is Ashley Hinson. She is the current representative for the district. For Republican voters, this is what your ballot will look like. For State Senator District 30, your two candidates are Waylon Brown, the current senator for this district, and Doug Campbell. Now, looking to another vote on the ballot for State Representative District 59, with the Republican candidate being Christian Hermanson. The Board of Supervisor District 3 has Carl Gannap. There is no candidate for county auditor, but when you go in to vote today, you can write in a candidate. The county sheriff Republican candidates are David Hepperly and Matt Klunder. Now, breaking down the Democratic candidates for voters in the Mason City district to represent Iowa's 2nd congressional district as candidate is Sarah Corkery. For Democratic voters, here's what your ballot will look like. For State Senator District 30, your one candidate is Richard Lawrence, or you can write in a vote as well when you're out today. The Democratic State Representative District 59 candidate is Jeremy True. Taking a look at the candidate for Board of Supervisor District 3, we have Lori M. Gannap. The county auditor has Adam Wedmore as the Democratic candidate, and for county sheriff, Brian Coop. So these are sample ballots that you can find on your county auditor website. That's where I found these, so you can do some research ahead of going out to the polls. But for those who still have some lingering questions out there, we do have more information over on our website at kttc.com to help clarify anything that you have before you head out in just about 22 minutes.
Yeah, and if you've never voted before, those are really good resources and tools to know, and thanks for breaking all that down because, it's going to be kind of a big day down in the Iowa area, so thank you so much, Charles. In some other news today, the Rochester City Council and Destination Medical Center are now one step closer to bringing a new affordable housing center to
on changing
town.
the dam,
Council
and
members
we've always
approving
more
a measure
closely
to
at
support a
financial
developer
considerations.
up to $13
But
million
if
we're
in
elected for the
tax
people of
increment
Rochester.
financing to
And as a
build
group, you
an
have
affordable housing
abrogated
unit
that
will be
role.
on
For
sale
firefighters,
for
this doesn't happen all the time.
cost.
So if people are interested,
DMC
they
also
can
included
either
in
go
this
to our
item saying it would pledge
complex
$3 million
should other
in
sources
support
not
for the
be
project.
forthcoming.
The whole
The
plan,
project will
which
be
was
worth it.
approved, will
scooters,
cost an
e-bikes are
estimated
returning, so
$129 million.
And that
Meanwhile,
goes
the
to
City Council also giving the green light for the final design of the Silver Lake Pool remodel. That includes a new bathhouse for the facility. The opening of that pool is set for 2026, and we are told the Soldiers Field pool is still finalizing its remodel, and that is set to open up this summer. A Rochester man is facing multiple drug-related charges after a search warrant was carried out last week. The Olmsted County Sheriff's Office says 25-year-old Abdikadar Ali of Rochester is facing controlled substance and possession charges. Around 9 Friday morning, a narcotics-related search warrant was carried out on Diamond Ridge Lane Northwest. According to the Sheriff's Office, investigators arrested Ali after finding about 40 grams of crack cocaine and powder cocaine. We now have an update to a racial slur incident in Rochester near Century High School. 4 teenage suspects have been identified, but no one has been arrested or charged at this time. Our Olivia Pronzinski spoke with the president of the Rochester NAACP and shares how the organization is looking for some accountability.
Almost 2 months later, NAACP President Wally Elegbede
This is an important first step.
stands on the bridge, once the face of a racial slur. Elegbede says words like that carry a dark history.
People have been killed, people have been lynched. This is not a joke.
Rochester police identifying 4 teenage males were behind the harmful message. Elegbede calling this the first step in accountability.
For us, this is not the end, this is part of it. We've also had conversations, at the state level, and this is something that, a lot of people are paying close attention to.
Now, as of Monday, no arrests have been made in this case, and the details have been passed along to the Olmsted County Attorney's Office for review of potential charges.
At the end of the day, these are young individuals, and what we're looking for there to be a learning opportunity from this. This is something that should not be taken lightly, but this gives us an opportunity to heal.
Elegbede explaining he wants to see the individuals become part of the solution, rather the problem.
They can definitely overcome this, depending on what they want to do.
Being just steps away from Century High School, community members theorize whoever is behind the message is a student, but nothing has been confirmed.
It's good to know that whoever did this got, caught, but at the same time, I don't want to wish any harm on people.
Elegbede reminding the community that Rochester should be a place of unity.
Ultimately, we want this to end with love.
Reporting in Rochester, Olivia Pronzinski, KTTC News.
Rochester Public Schools did release a statement stating that the findings are regrettable and that the district is grateful the investigation has concluded. We also did reach out to the Olmsted County Attorney's Office, and it says it is still too soon to comment on this matter. Today, you have the opportunity to learn how to save someone's life. There is a hands-only CPR workshop happening over at Winona Health today, and according to that health system, hands-only CPR, especially if performed immediately, can double or even triple a victim's chance at survival. This workshop is not necessarily for certification, but participants will come away feeling more confident in their ability to perform hands-only CPR, use an AED, and even help someone who is choking. So that workshop is happening from 6 until 7 tonight on the 3rd floor of the hospital in Winona. Kids, lace up your shoes and get ready to run, because today is the start of the 53rd season of the All-Comers Track Meets. Runners will take part in races and field events at the Soldiers Memorial Field track, and these meets are free for kids of all ages. Each one starts at 6 o'clock, and we do have a schedule of all the upcoming dates through July over on our website, KTTC.com. It's 6:43. It is also a first alert day, so after the break, we're going to talk with Ted about the potential for severe storms later today.
My people! The busiest city in the world.
On tap so far, but it may not stay this way for that much longer. We're looking at the possibility of strong thunderstorms again developing across the area. That'll happen in the late afternoon and evening, and because of that, it is a first alert day. Severe weather risk is right now highlighted across the area. We look at the possibility of some winds and some hail and some downpours of rainfall later on. Right now, though, so far, though, a very pleasant summer-like morning. Here's the current scene from some of our Lewiston auto cameras across the area. Some sunshine. Temperatures in some cases already up to 70 degrees this morning. So a very mild morning, but it is a first alert day nonetheless, and looking at the possibility of severe weather happening as early as 4 o'clock this afternoon, lasting into the evening hours, right until about 8 to maybe 10 o'clock across the area. Strong to severe storms, large hail, damage, and winds, the primary threats, although heavy rainfall may also accompany some of those more robust thunderstorms that develop to the west. Right now, here's future track satellite radar. Just a couple of very thin clouds in the area, but boy, very quiet and bright weather picture across the area. There's a cold front for the west. Now we are behind the warm front. You see that draped to the north of us. That warm, humid air has been building northward. We've been experiencing that for a couple of days. And this humidity, this warmth, that the extra a buoyant atmosphere. The extra unstable conditions will set the stage for maybe large, strong hail and some strong winds and some of the storms that develop to the west along that cold front. Ahead of that front already this morning, look at some of these numbers. Rochester 65 degrees at the airport, Wausau 67, is 69 in Sioux Falls, Aberdeen 71 already at this hour. Of course, that warm air and that humidity priming the atmosphere for those storm chances. And we have level 2 risk from the Storm Prediction Center and that 5-tiered scale. And so the orange areas and the majority of the area is in that level 2 risk. Large hail and damaging winds, the concerns 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. area wide, starting for the west, moving eastward. Now, as activity is a little more progressive this time around, we're not likely to see the extreme rainfall amounts we saw last time, but downpours of rain are still a concern today to go with those storms, as much as an inch in those storms as they move along. Looking at the severe weather time frame there, 4 to 10 p.m. on our outlook, brief showers possible ahead of that, but again, the severe weather risk really starting around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right now it's 65 in Rochester, Winona 68, Mason City 65 degrees as you head to the ballot box in North Iowa. Of course, today is primary election day and a warm one for that, but strong storms this evening. Still a concern across the entire area. That may impact some of that as well, the election going on there. Breezy with a brief shower, non-severe weather tomorrow, and sunny, mild weather for the weekend. Here's Future Track computer modeling, looking at some sunshine, temperatures soaring to the 80s. We've been there a time or two already this week. Today, a rather warm and humid, breezy day. Brief shower possible in the afternoon. Stronger storms. You see that line coming in from the west with that cold front. That sweeps eastward across the map from, again, 4 o'clock until about 10 o'clock this evening, with some strong storm activity impacting the area. Beyond that, the showers taper off by midnight. Temperatures dropping to the 50s. Tonight, winds drop off for a little while. Then tomorrow, breezy day again. Another cold front comes through, generates a brief shower or two in the area. Hit or miss showers from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow until just after sunset. Tomorrow, temperatures in the 70s though, and then another breezy day, but a drier day on Thursday as cool air continues to funnel into the area. Look at these numbers though. We're going from 80s today to barely 70 degrees on Thursday, and then the weekend, less windy, sunny, quiet weather, and very comfortable, seasonably mild conditions, mid-70s for the weekend. Fantastic weekend ahead of us. Showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon. Otherwise, some sunshine, a gusty breeze today. High of 83, south winds at times 25 miles per hour. Tonight, 55, some evening thunderstorms, clearing skies late with a diminishing breeze. 7-day forecast, a couple of windier days though tomorrow and Thursday, and then we look ahead at the weekend, and boy, things look fantastic there. So we get through this first alert day today, and we will have earned a good-looking weekend, and hopefully, we'll be able to dodge the bullet today. We do have the threat of severe weather. We're always hoping for the best in all of that, but we really look forward to something more peaceful, of course.
Yeah, it's always nice to have something peaceful and calm to look forward to. Appreciate that, Ted. And if you're just tuning in, you can tell that we're not in our KTTC studio, but we're still making sure we can bring you all of the latest news and weather updates, especially the severe ones, the really important weather updates that we have for today.
Right. We're
just coming to you live from our digital news desk, and we're thankful to have this set area for you so that we can still bring you all the updates you need. Thanks so much, Ted. It is 6:51. Some good news for your wallet when it comes to shopping at the grocery store. We have an update from the USDA on the other side of this break.
KTTC Weather, sponsored by Accenture.
Welcome back. In your Consumer Watch, grocery prices may be going down soon, according to the White House, and the driving factor is not what you might think. The USDA is trying to even the playing field for poultry farmers. That should keep more money in your wallets down the line. New USDA guidelines aim to fight unfair and discriminatory practices in the poultry field. The deputy director of the President's National Economic Council says it's not only good for consumers, but also for small poultry farmers all around the country. As inflation and grocery prices are on the decline, the deputy director says the president is pushing companies to be more transparent with customers and to offer the best prices they possibly can. Dr. Pepper isn't showing signs of fizzing out. The soft drink, which boasts a blend of 23 flavors, is now the second most popular pop in the U.S. Coca-Cola, of course, still king, but Dr. Pepper kicking Pepsi from the runner-up slot to third place. According to Beverage Digest, Dr. Pepper sales have recently climbed while Pepsi's have dropped. Dr. Pepper debuted back in 1885 before Coke and Pepsi were even a thing. Navigating the streaming landscape has proven to be difficult as services are upping their prices or including ads or even bundling with other services. On the video streaming side, prices are also getting higher. Per a recent study from Deloitte, American households spend $61 per month on streaming services. That's a 27% increase from last year's average of $48 a month. According to a 2023 report from Leichtman Research Group, 83% of U.S. households have at least one streaming service, with more than 50% subscribing to 4 or more. Coming up after us this morning on Today, there will be a full breakdown of prices and how consumers could save a little bit of money depending on what they like, or what they listen to. It is 6:56 on this Tuesday morning. A live look outside right now at Highway 52 at 55th Street in Rochester. It is a first alert day, so we're going to have one more check of your forecast when we come back. Whether that's for the polls or even to work or anywhere you're really heading today, and it is going to be a first alert day, especially for the weather that we're going to be experiencing a little later today. Right?
It's a late afternoon, evening time frame for the strong activity right now. So pretty quiet morning. Temperatures right now very mild for this time of the day. We're going to see those temperatures soar to the 80s again today, as they have done the past couple of days. Look for showers and thunderstorms. Here's a reminder that today is election day in North Iowa as you head out to the polls for the primary. In Decorah, for instance, look for high temperatures around 83. There's a chance for a brief shower or thunderstorm around 3 or 4 o'clock. The best chance of most widespread storms happening around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock this evening in Decorah, a high of 83. Look for high temperatures around 83 otherwise across the map, with the best chance of storms, severe weather threat from 4 o'clock this afternoon until 10 o'clock this evening. So keep that in mind later in the day as activity fires up to the west. A big long line of activity with an approaching cold front will push eastward. Large hail and damaging winds, the primary concerns in those storms. And as we look ahead to the day planner, a very mild morning. We'll be in the 70s here in a couple of hours. We'll be reaching 83 for high temperature, kind of a breezy, warm day. You'll feel that humidity, but enough of that breeze to stir the air and maybe make it a little more palatable. But again, we are looking at the possibility of strong storms. Here in Rochester, a time frame primarily 6 to 8 o'clock with the arrival time of those large hail and damaging winds and those storms. 7-day forecast beyond this is a first alert day today, but the next few days looking much more peaceful, more seasonable, back to the mid-70s, which is typical for this time of the year.
Okay, thanks for that full breakdown, Ted. And of course, thank you so much for sticking with us this morning for KTTC News Today. Have a nice day.